Fair use.
Been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
With that, we'll open the floor for some questions. Please raise your hand and I will call on you. Carol.
Chief, do you expect any charges against Carlee Russell in connection with the disappearance and in connection with what was taken from the Woodhouse spa?
Right now, our focus is to determine those 49 hours, so the investigation continues. So to be perfectly honest with you, that hasn't even entered our mind or been discussed.
One more question. Is it surprising to you that the family has not been cooperative in returning to be questioned?
Well, I think the family has stated to us that they didn't think that in her mental state right now, because of trauma of the incident, that she's not ready to talk, is what we.
Okay. This is wild to me, man. This is extremely wild to me. Because I already knew there was something wrong here. I just felt there's just something wrong. This thing's didn't add up. You know, where's the kid? Where's the baby she said she saw there? You know? That's what I want to know. Everybody was focused on her, but where's the baby? That's what I like to know. Police say they can't verify Carlee Russell's abduction claim. The worst thing about this is the fact that when a woman really gets abducted and it's a black woman, they'll probably ignore it. That's the scary thing. Carlee Nicole Russell, a 25-year-old nursing student who went missing for 2 days, told police she'd been abducted, but police have not found any evidence of a crime. Officials in Alabama said Wednesday. Investigators had not been able to verify most of Russell's statement about being captured. Wood Police Chief Nick Darcis said the police said that prior to her disappearance, Russell made several strange online searches, including whether you have to pay for Amber Alerts, how to take money from a cash register without getting caught, and the movie Taken, which is about a woman who's abducted and the ensuing quest to save her from her kidnappers. There were also searches related to the Birmingham bus station and bus tickets from Birmingham to Nashville. Russell vanished Thursday night after calling 911 to report spotting a toddler on an interstate in Alabama. Russell returned home 2 days later, and the incident gained national attention. She gave a brief statement to police when she returned home, but officers did not press for details out of respect for Russell and her family. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but has not been granted that request. Darcis said there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. Investigators have not found any evidence of a child on the highway. The Hoover Police Department said Wednesday the department never received any other 911 calls about a toddler on Interstate 459, even though multiple vehicles passed through the area on Thursday night. While she was on the phone with the dispatcher about the toddler, Russell traveled in her car about 600 yards, the distance of about 6 football fields. Darcis said she told the dispatcher there was a child wearing a white T-shirt and a diaper on the highway. Russell said that, as best as she could tell, he was not wearing shoes. 6 football fields. To think that a toddler barefoot that could be 3 or 4 years old could travel 6 football fields without getting in the roadway, without crying, is very hard for me to understand, Darcis said. Police on Wednesday played the audio from Russell's 911 call, during which she said she was in a car following the child. Russell said in the call she would keep an eye on the boy until the police arrived. She hung up with the dispatcher and got a call with a relative. The family member lost contact with Russell during the call, but the line remained open. Hoover Police Lieutenant Daniel Lowe said in a Friday news conference, Russell's mother then called police and said Russell had been on the phone with the relative, and the relative heard Russell scream. Hoover officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes being dispatched. Police said Russell was gone, but officers found her car, cell phone, wig, and purse. Her Apple Watch was in the bag. After returning home Saturday night, Russell spoke briefly with police, but they have not been able to interview her again in the days since. Russell told police a man had come out of the woods and mumbled that he was checking on the child. There's said she told officers the man then picked her up and forced her over a fence and into a car. Russell said the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of a truck with a man who she said had an orange hair and a woman. She also said she could hear a baby crying. Russell told police she escaped, but she was recaptured, put in a car, and blindfolded. She said she wasn't tied up, adding that her alleged captors said they didn't want to leave impressions on her wrist. Why would they care if they're trying to kidnap you? You're not making any sense at all. You're making no sense at all right now. Russell said she was taken to a house where she was undressed. She said she believes the photos were taken of her. The next day, she said the woman fed her cheese crackers and played with her hair. Russell said at some point she was put back in the vehicle. She claims she was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area, and ran through the woods to get home. When police arrived, she had a small injury to her lip and a tear in her shirt. There was more than $100 cash in her right sock. Durza said he thinks Russell's parents believe what Russell has told them and that he spoke with them before Wednesday's press conference to tell them what he'd be sharing with the public. When asked if he'd say if a crime had been committed, Durza said no. I wouldn't say I'm frustrated, Durza said. I'm very happy Carlee's home, and that's the main ingredient here. He said there's no reason to believe there's a threat to the community. During the search, police worked to build a timeline of events leading to Russell's disappearance. We pretty much know exactly what took place from the time she left work until that 911 call, Durza said. She departed her workplace at a business in Birmingham, about 10 miles from Hoover, around 8:20 p.m. local time on Thursday, officers said. Surveillance video shows her leaving her workplace with a bathrobe, a roll of toilet paper, and other items, all of which police said she kept concealed. Russell then ordered food from a nearby business at the Colonnade shopping mall and picked it up. She stopped at a Target on Highway 280 to buy some granola bars and Cheez-Its. She stayed in the parking lot until 9:21 p.m. At 9:34 p.m., she called 911 to report a toddler on the highway, saying she stopped to check on the boy. Police said the call ended quickly, and Russell then called a relative. Police have reviewed traffic camera footage from the area at the time of the alleged abduction. We don't see anybody on the interstate other than her and then someone getting out of her driver's side, Durza said. Police sent the video to the FBI and asked the agency for help enhancing the footage. The snacks and the items Russell took with her when she left work were not in her car when the police arrived at the scene. They were also not found anywhere in the area. So wait a minute. All your electronics, your Apple phone, your Apple Watch is there at the scene, but your junk food went missing? This investigation is not over. Durza said we're still working with this case, and we're working this case until we uncover every piece of evidence that helps us account for the 49 hours that Carlee Russell was missing. Like I said, man, the baby, the guy was orange hair. Okay, so what happened was there was a MAGA couple. That's what it was. It was Trump supporters. All right. And when they abducted her, they screamed, "This is MAGA country." That's what happened. It was MAGA country. That's what happened right there, boy. And Jussie Smollett helped her through the woods. Okay. Well, let's get into what was said. Let's get into this bombshell right here. Hold on a second. All right. Here we go. Fair use.
What up, Nurse Gang? What up, TikTok? So, the update I never wanted to truly have to report on. So, we've all been talking about the Carlee Russell case. This is her Instagram, Carlee, Over the last few days, she shocked the nation, and black women all over the country felt empowered. We felt finally pleased that America was caring about black women. Every national news outlet was reporting about Carlee Russell. This is the first time this has ever happened. The hunt was on to find this black girl. But then when she showed up at our house, it got a little greasy. Why did it get a little greasy? Because she just showed up. So then that's when the world got divided. Wait, what's going on? Something is not right here. Okay, we don't want to speak. We want our privacy. Something is going on. What is going on? Well, when you start talking about something, people start DMing you the truth. It looks like 50 people from Hoover have already got fired for leaking what's really going on with this case. And it's trickled into my DM. So you mean to tell me all this was because she was trying to get back at her ex-man? Yeah, that boyfriend that spoke out about her being kidnapped and held and tortured. Yeah, that was her ex-man. And he actually cheated on her with a stripper. And Carlee had it out with the stripper. And to get back at him, yeah, she...
Wow. That's what it's about. That's what it was about, man. Seriously? Some petty crap like this? Really? You wasted man hours on your petty relationship problems? Wow. Let me play this again.
Up, Nurse Gang? What up, TikTok? So, the update I never wanted to truly have to report on. So, we've all been talking about the Carlee Russell case. This is her Instagram, Carlee. Over the last few days, she shocked the nation, and black women all over the country felt empowered. We felt finally pleased that America was caring about black women. Every national news outlet was reporting about Carlee Russell. This is the first time this has ever happened. The hunt was on to find this black girl. But then when she showed up at our house, it got a little greasy. Why did it get a little greasy? Because she just showed up. So then that's when the world got divided. Wait, what's going on? Something is not right here. Okay, we don't want to speak. We want our privacy. Something is going on. What is going on? Well, when you start talking about something, people start DMing you the truth. It looks like 50 people from Hoover have already got fired for leaking what's really going on with this case. And it's trickled into my DM. So you mean to tell me all this was because she was trying to get back at her ex-man? Yeah, that boyfriend that spoke out about her being kidnapped and held and tortured. Yeah, that was her ex-man. And he actually cheated on her with a stripper. And Carlee had it out with the stripper. And to get back at him, yeah, she disappeared herself. And then got afraid when it blew up. This is what Carlee said to the side chick. Itch, please. He told me everything you said about me and you thought I told him to say that. I wasn't even with him. You're delusional AF if you think your little conversation was anything more than convenience and the fact that he used you to get back at me out of anger. You want to talk about I don't compare to you on your worst day? Girl, bye. You're miserable, or at least should be, being a stripper to provide for a child I've heard you've had from multiple people. So not surprised you don't know who your baby daddy is. Mention me or contact my NIGGA again, and you'll see I'm not the one to play with. You don't want you and your whole family touched. You're poor. I'm rich. You're a stripper. I'm a nurse.
She's about to be poor herself because she's probably going to face a massive lawsuit.
You're ugly. I'm beautiful. You could never. You're the bottom of the barrel. Someone from the police department just could not watch us all suffer. So they released these details. Here's the update. She's sticking to the story that she was abducted. She says she was lured into the woods by some people who live in the woods, described as a person with orange hair, balding on top, tied her up and drove her around and put her in an 18-wheeler and fed her cheeses for 2 days.
It was Trump. Damn it. It was Trump. MAGA country.
And they painted her nails. They kept her on 150 somewhere, and somehow she managed to get away and run through the woods to her neighborhood until she got into her house and then goes into the hospital.
They painted her nails. Those savages. It was Drake and Trump.
Hoover got some Ring doorbell footage from her neighborhood, and it just shows her walking casually until she gets close to her house, and then she starts sprinting and flailing arms and acting a fool. She got caught stealing from work that day, failed out of nursing school, and has been on drugs. She had her friend behind her, and that's...
Whoa! Oh, so that she's talking about this stripper, but you failed out of nursing school and you were on drugs. Wow, man. This is something right here. This is wild.
That's who picked her up. She was with her friend all weekend. The police knew she was safe because she unblocked her ex while she was quote unquote abducted. She planned to disappear and realized it wasn't going to work.
What? All this for nothing, man. For nothing. I don't get this. I don't get this at all, man. I just like, you wasted everybody's time. There are real people who get abducted. All right. There are real victims of kidnapping. Okay. Like those black girls who were escorts and they were kidnapped by this racist white supremacist, and only one got out and the rest were just corpses in a blue container outside of his house. There are real women who are victims of kidnapping and trafficking, and you do this? Wow. Let me know what you think in the comments. Anything you want to know about this channel, it's in the description box. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Later.